Hello Talons, and welcome to another tarot reading live stream for character predictions for Dragon Age 4. Another evening stream, no cookies this time. So let's see which character is going to be today. Got a name. Viago DeRiva, who is one of the Talons, and he appears in Tevinter Nights among other places, and he appears in 8 Little Talons in Tevinter Nights, and being one of the Talons and in close affiliation with other Talons, close affiliation with the first Talon, and fully aware of the Qunari invasion that's imminent into Antiva, and aware of how the Qunari were plotting against the Talons and the Crows, he might play an important role in Dragon Age 4. If anything, as an advisory role. I'm not sure that he would be a companion per se. Hi Tabitha. And hi Darkside. No cookies tonight. Maybe next time. So I see Viago more as an advisor. He also appears in the short story where Lucanas de la Morte appears to have been dead, and Ilario keeps reciting the same story over and over, completely drunk, and Viago carries him away. So Viago will be present as an Antivan Crow. He has knowledge, and he will probably be either an advisor or appear for some missions. I don't think he'd be a companion, but he is an important character, being one of the Talons, and he is knowledgeable, and he has close ties with the other remaining Talons, since some of them were, spoilers, taken out. So I see this very interesting, and it'll be fun to see his interactions in Dragon Age 4 and what his relationship with the protagonist might be. So, also, I think it's safe to assume that I have Andaratea also in the list, but it's safe to assume that they might go hand in hand together, not all the time, but since they are technically together, they might be in close affiliation where one appears, the other might make some appearances as well. So what do the cards have to say about Viago DeRiva's role in Dragon Age 4? Okay, so it's a reversed card, and King of Wands, which is in the Dragon Age Inquisition tarot deck, King of Staves. So that's interesting. So suit of staves, the king of all, and reversed. In the Dragon Age Inquisition tarot deck, the King of Staves is the nightmare demon. So King makes sense. While he's not the first Talon, Catarina de la Morte is the first Talon, Viago DeRiva is a Talon. He's one of the 8 leaders, one of the leaders to lead the Antivan Crows. And the Antivan Crows, while there is a crown, there is a king in Antiva, the Crows are the military body, they are the advisors, and they pretty much are the ones who run the country more than the king does. So, hi Caden. So let's see. Reversed. Being austere. Well, yes, it's an assassin, has to have a certain level of austerity. Narcissism. That doesn't strike me as Viago at all, but because of the nature of the Antivan Crows, they might encounter characters who portray certain narcissistic traits or who act in a certain more grandiose way to appear a certain way to the Talons, and maybe someone like Viago DeRiva would be able to see through it because that's his role as an assassin. Lack of enthusiasm. Well, maybe. I mean, the Antiva is the target of the Qunari invasion. They lost a handful, well, not a whole handful, but they lost other Talons, and one of their own was responsible. So I could see Viago having a lack of enthusiasm. Oh, yay, we have to thwart another invasion, you know? Being dogmatic. Perhaps. I don't know. The crows are Andrastian, but I don't know how dogmatic Viago actually is. Let's see. Yes, I hope a lot of things will happen based on our decisions as well. It would make it more interesting, not just our decisions from past games and decisions as the Dragon Age 4 protagonist, all encompassed together. Critical. Viago, yes, it makes sense for him to be critical, especially after what has happened to the Talons, to be critical of new alliances, critical of allies, critical of himself. You know, he could be critical of himself. How did he not see this sooner? How did he not catch the deception earlier? How, so he could be critical of himself and wanting to play his role as a Talon. A Talon is the military body of Antiva. The Talons not only make decisions behind the scenes, but they protect the people of Antiva. So he could be critical of himself in regards to that, and he wants to be that protective body, be that role, the assassin who protects the innocent people from a potential Qunari invasion. Thoughtless actions. So Viago DeRiva doesn't strike me as someone who would act thoughtlessly. However, in the heat of the moment, maybe he would catch thoughtless actions, or maybe he would be so wrapped up in what's going on that he would miss a detail like he missed in the past, and maybe it would prompt him to act without giving enough thought to certain actions. I don't see it in the thoughtless kind of way of inconsiderate type of thoughtless, but more in the didn't think it through entirely, didn't think it through enough kind of way. Shallowness. Viago doesn't strike me as shallow. Would he develop a bit of shallowness? Perhaps. He would reprioritize, his, not necessarily his needs, but Antiva's needs. And so potentially there might be some shallowness there when trying to negotiate an alliance of sorts. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Low energy. Well, with what the crows have had to deal with so far, low energy can mean having to lie low and observe, but, and just not spend all that energy, but also maybe feeling a little bit depleted, morally depleted, physically depleted. The Talons are physically depleted because there are less of them. So low energy in several aspects there. Pessimism. I see Viago DeRiva being pessimistic. It's they lost some Talons. one of their own to, you know, and then in the wake, whose wake is it entirely? One De La Morte heir is completely drunk, maybe spilling beans, and, you know, pessimism in the future of Antiva, their chances against a Qunari invasion, I can totally see it happening. You know, Viago, he's the poisons expert. He's the one who detects these things. He's always super careful because he has that hypervigilance. And so the pessimism can match that hypervigilance. I see that. Fear of failure. Yes, that makes complete sense as well. You know, fear of failure with what happened, fearing that they're not going to catch any spies. They barely caught their own spy. They barely caught wind of the invasion. What's going to happen in the future? Are they going to fail? Are they going to lose more Talons? Are they going to lose power in Antiva? Are they going to fail to protect Antiva from the Qunari invasion? Because that's the imminent threat. Yes, there's Solus. Yes, there's Venatori going after other Talons. Yes, there's the spreading red lyrium, but the Qunari are planning to begin their invasion into Antiva before they invade anywhere else. And so that is the most imminent threat to Antiva. And I see Viago DeRiva being one of the voices who might fear that failure. Blockages. Either they will create blockages to block the invasion, which would be very positive, or they would encounter blockages like they have already encountered, which might, you know, make them less successful, all depending what our role might be in regards to that. Sabotage. Would Viago DeRiva be the one finding a sabotage, again discovering a sabotage, or would he be sabotaging another character, sabotaging the Qunari potentially? That could go both ways as well. Selfishness, I don't see that being particularly for Viago. Perhaps more not selfish in personally selfish, but maybe selfish in the interests of Antiva, in the interests of the crows, as opposed to the rest of Staves. That's how I see it. And difficult deliberations. I don't know what that, maybe he would have difficulty expressing, but I don't see that particularly being too big of a problem, but maybe he would have difficulty getting a message across to the other Talons or to the Dragon Age 4 protagonist. So those are my thoughts in regards to what the card says. Reversed King of Wands / Staves for Viago DeRiva's role, probably more advisory towards the Dragon Age 4 protagonist in Dragon Age 4. Anyone in the chat, if you have additional thoughts, feel free to comment them. And I look forward to seeing all the crows that we'll encounter in Dragon Age 4. Viago DeRiva definitely is an interesting character, and he's a poisons master, and he's like the CSI guy of the crows. So it would be a lot of fun to have him. I don't think he'd be a companion, but I would like to encounter him and to have him play a role in some missions, and someone who might advise us for at least certain missions in or around Antiva. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and like this video if you like it. Subscribe to be Jimmy approved, Jimmy over here, and I'll see you all soon. Maseranas.